One game delivers the Heisman Trophy, the SEC Western Division, and a clear path to the number one ranking and a college football playoff appearance. MarkRogersTV, the voice of college football. We're here 8 years after LSU defeated Alabama in the game of the century, 9-6 in overtime. A much different affair, much different approach from both offenses, in a much more exciting game as we got 46-41 LSU over Alabama. We will talk about the ramifications, but let's first address this classic. Alabama marches down the field right out of the gate. Tua inexplicably just loses the football. Nobody touched him, just dropped the football at the 8-yard line to shut down the Alabama series, and the Crimson Tide would give it up on that turnover. Joe Burrow right out of the gate throwing the football, and Ed Orgeron has addressed this a number of times in close games. Close games against Auburn, 23-20, the Texas game earlier in the season. If LSU has the lead, they are not going to stop. They are not going to let off the throttle. They're not going to be old LSU, run the ball, protect the lead, and try to get out of Dodge with a win. They are constantly going to be on attack, and they were on attack from the first play of the game. Joe Burrow concluded the series with the touchdown pass to Jamar Chase. We saw the numbers roll in during the game, the tremendous comparison between probably the two best wide receiver cores. My apologies to Ohio State and Clemson, the two best wide receiver cores in college football, LSU and Alabama, against two of the better secondaries in college football, LSU and Alabama. LSU, despite the first play that Tua delivered to Jerry Jeudy for a nice gain of 17 yards. After that, LSU started to bring the pressure on Tua, and Tua responded extremely well considering the ankle. So we were constantly getting a look at the ankle, how Tua was responding off the ankle. He wasn't asked to run much based on his playmaking ability, his ability to get the ball out of his hands, based on the play calling from Alabama. They protected the ankle pretty well. We saw it give way the more the game went on, but actually Tua threw the ball better as the game wore on. And the ankle was certainly, I'm sure, extremely sore after a 3.5-hour football game, but he certainly persevered, and let's give some credit to Tua, playing less than 3 weeks after major surgery and delivering a huge, enormous game with over 400 yards passing. The Alabama punter dropped the ball, much like Tua, with nothing, no pressure, and LSU responded after that. Joe Burrow threw an horrible INT, but Alabama had 12 men on the field. Alabama was making all sorts of mistakes. That kept the possession of the football in LSU's hands. They kicked the field goal to make it 10-0. Marcel Brooks stayed back in coverage, picked off Tua on a 3rd and 7. That was Tua's worst throw of the game. He heated up from there. We saw Jalen Waddle with a punt return for a touchdown. The LSU defender on the special teams whiffed on the high tackle, and it was Jalen Waddle off to the races to get Alabama jump-started down 10-0 to make it a 10-7 game, and then the track meet was on from there. Blown coverage by Alabama on the next series. Terrace Marshall broke free and scores the touchdown as LSU goes up 16-7 after Xavier McKinney blocks the PAT. And we saw the play on the 4th and 1 where Alabama went for it at midfield, give the ball to Slade Bolden, his only carry of the game. I highly question that call. Did not seem like the way to go against this LSU defense, and Slade Bolden with the football in his hands, and Alabama doesn't convert. Joe Burrow goes to work again. This time he throws the perfect pass, threads the needle along the sideline to Thaddeus Moss. The play was reviewed a number of times. He was ruled in. They score right after that, 26-13 LSU. Then they get the ball back after the Patrick Queen pick of Tua, where he read the play perfectly, picks off Tua, and playing the zone on the other side of the field. Tua looked at him, went to the left side of the field, but Patrick Queen was still close enough to read the play, read the receiver, and break on the football and pick it off. That led to another Burrow tremendous series of plays going down the field, and this time he gets Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who was probably outside of Joe Burrow, the player of the game. Just had a tremendous effort, and this is one of many plays that he made as nobody picked him up out of the backfield. And let it soak in that LSU scored 33 points on Alabama in the first half, 33 points, and racked up Joe Burrow at that point 252 yards passing at halftime. We come out for the second half, and it became the Najee Harris show in the third quarter. He took over on the next series, ran it for 31. He ran for 31 on the first play of the game before Tua fumbled. He runs for 31 here, and most of these Najee Harris runs were a little bit of offensive line and a lot of Najee Harris. He was tremendous in showing both the burst and the power and the quick cuts in the hole a number of times during these big runs. Also caught on the screenplay, another great catch as he converts the third down to a first down. And Jerry Jeudy, he had a number of drops, still had a tremendous catch that kept Alabama alive late in the game. We'll get to that, but Jerry Jeudy drops a perfect rainbow throw over the top by Tua. Noted during the broadcast that he's probably the best long ball thrower in college football. I would agree. Devonta Smith had dropped the previous play. Jerry Jeudy drops the rainbow bomb for the touchdown, and Alabama's great wide receiver core let down Tua a few times during this game, but that's going to happen. Actually, Najee Harris was the guy that pulled through with the best catch on this series, the back shoulder, and another tremendous run previous to that. Double jump cuts in the hole, converts the first down, and then, yes, Najee completes the drive, 10 plays, 95 yards, and we've got a 33-20 game, and that's when really Alabama got themselves back in the game thanks to Najee Harris really carrying the load on that drive to make it 33-20 with just a few minutes left in the third quarter. All right. Joe Burrow made one of his few mistakes as he was flushed from the pocket, had to step up, roll to his right, and he missed Jamar Chase on a key 3rd and 5 play, turned it over to Alabama when the Tide had the momentum in this one. Bama converts with more Najee. Devonta Smith over the top of Derek Stingley on this play. Devonta Smith, despite the one drop, he was exceptional. Otherwise, 7 catches for 213 for Devonta Smith. Of course, he's the guy that caught the game-winning touchdown pass in the national championship game against Georgia. 33-27 at that point. 14 minutes left. Clyde Edwards-Helaire made a tremendous play on a 3rd and relatively long. Joe Burrow had a Bama defender in his face, delivered the football. Edwards-Helaire makes the shoestring grab, immediately cuts upfield, jukes a guy, buries the next guy. A second Alabama defender came, and he buried him into the grass to convert the third down into a first down, and then later the touchdown to make it 39-27. Clyde went 20 for 103 in this game on the ground, and 9 catches for 77 yards. Alabama driving down the field desperately, 39-27. They've got to go for it on 4th downs. They don't have enough time. They need 2 scores. They kept converting 4th downs. In the final one, Devonta Smith, 4th and 3, where he took the slant against Derek Stingley. It's the most it's the best play to throw on that situation. That's all you can say is you go for the slant. It's almost impossible to cover. And LSU could not, and Derek Stingley against Devonta Smith, 4th and 3 conversion there. Jeudy drops what should have been a touchdown play on another slant on 3rd and goal. Sets up the 4th and goal. Jerry Jeudy makes up for it. He goes to the corner, beats the defender, perfectly thrown football, perfectly on time, makes a tremendous catch, and Bama's back in it there at 39-34. LSU doesn't try to protect the lead with 5 minutes left. They go for the jugular. Burrow downfield, stretching the defense, long pass plays, and then he keeps it on the zone read, left end, converts the first down off the 3rd down play, and then again, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, another workmanlike effort on the touchdown run as he was just huge the entire game. This guy looked like an above-average running back last year, but with the support of a tremendous passing game downfield to take pressure off of him, he has completely turned into a top echelon running back this season. We're at 46-34. Then Dave Aranda gets a little crazy with the defense. Doesn't back off and provide cushion for his corner. Devonta Smith streaks right down the field. Bama scores in 15 seconds to make it a game again at 46-41. Justin Jefferson, though, was the right man at the right place at the right time on the onside kick as LSU put in the hands team, and LSU escapes and beats Alabama for the first time since 2011, 46-41. I hope you got to enjoy the post-game conversation with Coach O and both with Joe Burrow and with Clyde Edwards-Helaire as they are pumped and ready to go, but in right frame of mind, knowing that the task and the mission is not completed. 3 more games for LSU. Ole Miss, Arkansas, Texas A&M. Of course, they will be a heavy, monumental favorite in all of those games, but the Texas A&M game could be tricky. Like talent, similar talent. The two teams are in very different places here in 2019. No question about that. But just in regards to sheer athleticism and talent on the field, the Aggies could be a challenge. So look out for that. If you're an SEC fan, this is what you're rooting for. Georgia wins out. LSU wins out, of course. Bulldogs win the SEC championship game, and this LSU team with 1 loss could still get a nod to make it into the college football playoffs based on their resume with right now wins over Auburn, Texas, Alabama, and Florida. Tack on Texas A&M and a close loss to Georgia, and LSU would certainly be in play. For Alabama, make a case that they deserve to be in the college football playoff. Conspiracy theorists, you will say that they're still going to make it in. And you know what? Until it's proven otherwise, I don't discount that theory because maybe they're going to put them in some crazy scenario. But Alabama, who has Alabama beaten? Texas A&M. That's their best win. It's a non-top 25 win. It's a win against a 6-3 team that's probably going to lose 1 to 2 more games. Alabama's best win after the season, should they finish out with 3 consecutive wins, would of course be against an Auburn team that's probably going to finish 8-4 or 9-3 at best. 9-3 at best if Alabama beats Auburn. So Alabama has no good wins right now. Texas A&M, South Carolina, Duke, that would be the ranking of the Alabama wins to date. They just don't have the resume. And with Mississippi State, Western Carolina, and the Iron Bowl left to play, Alabama has a mountain to climb considering what's going on in the other conferences and the dominance displayed by Ohio State and Clemson in particular. Would love to get your comments on the college football playoff scenario, LSU's performance with Joe Burrow wrapping up a Heisman Trophy. I think so. Would love to get your take right here at Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football. Please like, comment, share the videos, and subscribe.